All right. Yes. You're all welcome to our session once again. It's good to have you after quite a weekend. So yes, Carlos, we were having a fine discussion. So please, I'd like us to continue. Um, you said testing your system. So yeah, please speak to us on that.
Yeah, I said after our discussion, which you said that I should go ahead with these levels, marking them out from view to passer and stop. I actually faced one problem, which like it's kind of making the thing should I say kind of tiring or something. But even at that, I'm just still trying my best here. Because I wouldn't even have any choice because Kesa is like free, so it's not like premium version of it. The problem is this: after marking out these levels from view to casa, and maybe you're on your seat, getting to backtest and stuff. At the end of the day, you can't just run the whole years on a go, like on a seat. You might probably get engaged, get to do something else, some other thing, shut down your PC, coming back to like kind of continue from where you stopped. You get to see that these levels tends to disappear. Understand? Like you don't see them no more, and it's kind of a very big problem that I'm facing. I don't know if any other person here is facing the same problem. And with that, it's just like making the whole thing tiring and stuff. So it's just like a kind of a very huge work getting to like mark out levels each and every time you come back to test. So I don't just know if there is any way we can get to see to that, maybe how to get these levels to be there instead of coming to put the levels and all that. Even I think I was able to speak with Captain, and Captain said that he's experiencing the same thing, that he will just have to come back before every time he has to back test, he'll have to pick out these levels again. So that's like a very big problem I'm facing, and it's like kind of making my testing section slow. You understand? Yeah, it's kind of making it slow.
All right. Sorry to hear that. Although I think that is quite the case because I also noticed that myself. If you test and you're kind of done with your test at the moment, if you
No,
come back,
Cassie, I think, sorry for interrupting, but I think there's a way you can save the chat. You can save the chat and then you name it, right? So when you come back, you just load what you've saved. So like if you practice for, let's say, a week and then you're going up the chat, you just save it. It's at the top right corner of the whole thing. I don't know if you can hear me, but
okay.
yes, so there's a save chat somewhere at the top right corner. I'm currently not with my laptop, but it is somewhere at the top right corner of the platform.
Okay. I've seen that. I've seen that.
Exactly.
I've seen the same thing.
Then you load it anytime you come back. So anytime you're leaving your console, you just save it, and then when you come back, when you load it from there, you can get everything.
All right, no problem. I'll do that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Kasi,
Oh,
please.
really? Yeah. Yes, Damien. Thank you for that. Let me quickly check that myself so that I can just show us. Do I have that open? Let me see. Just pass up. Okay. Let me see if I can. Save chat. Let me see. All right, but while this is trying to load up, yes, once again, let's see. George, yes, how about you? How has your month been? How's your past week been? Have you started testing out your system? How's that going? Just like to find out.
Yes, yeah, good evening. Yeah, please, I have, for let's say for the past two sessions, I have not been able to attend because I have a family emergency, so I'm not really okay with myself actually. So
Oh,
I'm back though. So I'm yet to start everything, but I'm still holding my GPNZD and uh, the GJ pair. So as for now, that's what I'm holding for now.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear. Sorry to hear you weren't
Yeah.
to.
Sure. Yeah.
Are
Sure.
you
Thank you.
much better now?
Yes. For now, I'm okay. I'm back. So I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. So it means that you do not you haven't seen oh, that's true. The other videos are not out. I think that's been delayed. But it seems like you've not seen Judas Casa what it looks like, have you?
Yes. The last time I saw it, but I couldn't really pay attention to it. So I'm now just looking through. So what Carlos was saying is what today I was trying to go through, but I was not seeing top. So I just decided to wait today. Then maybe you go over for us to get a better understanding of it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I will do that. I will do that.
Yeah. Sure. All
Um,
right.
I will do that. And yes, the other videos will be uploaded this week. So I think, like I said, it's been delayed. But I think between now and before Thursday, all the videos, all the previous videos will be uploaded, so that you can also watch how the previous sessions went. Yes, I will do that. I'm just trying to check it out myself to see how exactly I can save the chart so that it makes sense. Okay. And yes, thank you, George. Let's see. Um, yes, Damien. So you spoke about saving the chart. So it means you are now trying to test your system, right? It means you're well acquainted with how it works.
Yes. So I began this weekend, and I've been able to test 1 year data on I think 2021 on Euro USD. And so far
Uh,
I'm currently looking for it, so I'm just looking out to. So I'm doing 2021 and 2022. So at the end, I'll get to know what edge I have in the market with my system.
okay. So all right. Thanks for that update. I will give you guys something to work with, so that we know exactly what we're testing out for. But yes, thanks for your update. Also, um, yes, Captain. So, Captain, Carlos said that you were also having the exact same issue, trying to save the levels you're using. So how's that been?
Yeah,
I think that must have been
yeah, that's
affecting your
true.
testing so
So,
far.
yeah, what I do is that when I log in back into the site, I just have to draw the all the levels again. I'll start it over again, draw the levels again. I'll just do it. But I think that's the only difficulty I have. But it has been fine. At least I've been back testing for like since last week. I think I'm up like I think 10% in the account or so, something like that. So that's it. And I've
Okay.
passed my second phase. I've passed my second phase today.
Yeah,
The
interesting. There
10K
was
account, the second phase.
new equity highs. I also had new equity highs today, so and that's not quite a surprise.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's beautiful. So now you're funded on both accounts, right?
No, not good. It's Hive. Hive. That one is Hive. HIV.
Okay,
Good.
Hive.
I've not
Yes,
passed the
yes.
first. Yeah, Hive. Yeah, Hive.
Okay, so now
So
you're
that one is
funded
I'm
on.
just waiting for. Yeah, I'm just waiting for KYC for them to verify my KYC. Then I'll get funded.
Okay, and so what other accounts are you working with? I know you have some other accounts that are still in progress. So
Yeah, Maven. Yeah, I'm already funded in
okay,
Maven. Maven was a one-step
yes,
challenge, and what I'm trying to like battle with is the trailing drawdown. So I don't really enter much trading because of the
yeah,
trailing drawdown. Yeah. So I
and
think I'm still
quite
I
frankly,
think I'm still yeah. I think I just hit like my take profit in Euro AUD as in I think 1:2 risk reward. Yeah. But I'm seeing Euro dollar in the account. So I've then the other account, the other 10K Hive account, I think I'm up 2% in the second phase. So that's it.
okay, that's good. That's good. That's quite a progress, and it's good to hear this. It's good to hear this. Like I said, I mentioned I myself I saw the equity high. So when that happened, I remember you on Yusuf because I know you both are really in challenges. Yusuf, on the other hand, okay, Yusuf, you're here, but I'm sure it's not maybe not enough to pass phase 2, or maybe there's a little progress, but you don't have all the trades. So I understand. But yes, tell us your experience so far. Have you started testing, Yusuf? And just give us a little bit of what you've noticed so far, if you've started testing, unless you haven't.
Okay, IKC. So are you asking me that question, right? Is that question for me?
Yes, of course. It is for
Okay,
you.
all right. Okay, yeah, thank you. So, in terms of testing, I've not done much, Um, personally, I've been using TradingView right from day one. And I don't know if I'm the only one. I think TradingView will give you access to higher time frames in as much as you don't go below the daily time frame. So now I've been working more from like daily to 12 months, just trying to like connect dots. I don't have a plan yet on how to do it properly because sometimes you are backtesting and everything just looks somehow. You feel like, oh, maybe I'm not doing it the right way. Then you want to start again. So I'm just still in the middle of getting a definite way of doing it that would enable me to track it in the appropriate way. So I'm just still testing things around that. So, but if I'm correct, do you also get to use TradingView for free in terms of like testing daily to like 12 months? I always replay my charts from the daily and I don't have any issue of like having to subscribe or something. So maybe if people are interested in that, they can always use that in as much as they are not going below the daily time frame. I think it works. So, but the only challenge is that it's not as like traders casa that you were able to like do real time analysis of whatever you are doing. So one challenge I have with traders casa is that I was not able to go above the 1 month time frame. I don't know if that's a personal problem for me also. So I have just been working with TradingView in that regard. And also based on my FTMO second phase account, I'm currently up fluctuating around 2%. I have three trades from your previous trades. I was able to get some entry back into GBPNZD, Euro card, and what's the third one? Let me check, please. So and NZD card. So then I have a personal trade this morning from AUDJPY, although the it's not from the monthly levels, like the 3 month levels. Well, I saw the weekly level. I'm following your last week analysis. So I did my own analysis this morning and I saw some confluences based on another system that I trade on, like break of trend line, rejection on the weekly support level. So I just took that trade some minutes ago. So yeah, but so far I'm 2% up on that account. And yeah, I think in 1-2 months I should be able to pass it, hopefully. Thank you.
All right, all right. That is
Yeah.
good to hear. That is also fantastic to hear. And what you said is true. So TradingView allows you to test from the daily upwards without having to go down to the 4 hours. But some of us here have systems that go down to the 4 hour time frame. That's why I had to introduce you to other softwares that might assist in that regard.
Okay.
So yes, I think we're all aware of that. But if any of us is not aware, yes, you can use TradingView for free. I'm not using it for free though, but you can use it for free if you want to test from daily and above. But of course, if you need to scale that, and like he said, like Yusuf said, it is not so automated like Rest Pasa. It's more like in manual adjustments that you have to do in terms of doing your stats, adding up your wins and losses and things like that. You do that manually as opposed to Traders Pasa that will kind of automate that for you in a sense. So I think that's like the difference. I would prefer TradingView. I'm used to testing manually, but for those of us who want to scale down to the lower time frames and not have access to pay for the pro version of TradingView, then of course you can now use Stress Pass. I think that's like the best alternative so far. I know someone here mentioned a different software. I think it was Promise, but he's not here at the moment. I kind of asked him to send it to me, but I've not received it yet. I was hoping to also test the software as well to see if it is maybe even better than Stress Pass. And I think when he is able to send that to me, we'll find out if that is the case. Okay. Yes, phase 2 is well ahead. That's beautiful. Once again, like I said, we're doing really well. I love that we're all making progress. One thing we remember that is that the trades, the market is really good for now. I mean, it won't always be like this, but I think we can just bask in the current movements that the market's giving us. Just be happy that we're happy to see this. We're making so much progress. I myself am making extraordinary progress. It's beautiful to see, right? It's beautiful to see. But yes, Yusuf, thanks for that input. Abdul, how about you? Have you started testing?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I'm in the same situation as George. Like, for the past three sessions, I haven't been fully active. Even our last session that I joined, I left midway. Like I've actually been feeling unwell since then. Like, so I was just managing with the session. So I haven't started even backtesting or something till now.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. I think you also mentioned that in the last session. So it seems like you're fully
Yes,
strong.
yes. I left midway then actually. So I haven't fully recovered then. So that's
So
why
are
I
you
saw.
on
That's
are
why
you on medications?
yeah, I'm on medication.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So that's why I asked for the YouTube videos then. So like, where to watch it. So probably I'll be able to catch up.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry about that. Sorry. I would make sure it is available. So this session, it should all the sessions that are not yet out, I'll make sure they are available before Thursday. Okay. I think I'll start uploading periodically. I've not really been around myself. I'm just also getting back on the hospital myself, not because of me, but a friend of mine who had an emergency. So I've not really had the time to be on my workstation today. But yes, I will make sure to upload these videos so that you all can get to see, especially you, Abdul, and George as well. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
of course. My apologies for the inconvenience.
Look, Cassie.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
after that.
The market opened today with a huge gap. I think it's because of the Iran Israel-Iran war, right?
Yes,
Because of
yes. Let's say mostly US Iran. I'd say US Iran for the most part. So I think we had the news. Trump went. Trump, he went ahead to bomb certain. Let me see if I have that news correct. So uh,
Casey.
yep.
Yeah, actually, I actually have a general question like that. I want to ask you something. So I don't
Okay.
know, what
Please.
do you think about some forex traders like, that inside their room or something, you have like three big monitors joined together or something. Like, is that really necessary? I don't know if you're getting my point. Like, that you have three big monitors joined together, watching charts here and there or something. So I also feel like, is that really necessary or something? So
Not really. Not really. I think for the most part, it's just the aesthetic that comes with it. Um, not really. It's not really a necessity. I wouldn't consider it a necessity. Two screens maybe. But then if you think about it, when some traders who have multiple screens, it's not just because of the charts. Maybe it's because of work as well. For example, they run a community, just different things. So they might just want a chart for a screen for the chart and maybe a screen for Discord or Telegram or something else that they have going on. But having three screens just look at the chart, in my opinion, is not really necessary. I don't even look at the chart so often myself, so that's one of the reasons why I don't need that. And most traders who do that are maybe day traders who would maybe want to sit on their screens for a couple of hours each day. But for some positions traders or swing traders like maybe me, for example, that may not necessarily need to do that, then I don't see the point of that. But I think I get it. It's just the luxury and aesthetic. But I think aside that, does it make you more effective? Maybe for work, yes. But does it make you a better trader? Not necessarily. At least that's how I see it.
okay.
And then if you think about it, you only see these screens because they post it on the internet, on social media. So that must tell you it's for content. It's used to, again, like I said, this is the aesthetic that comes with it. It's just mostly for content. A better workstation would presume that a trader is much better, and that he pays attention to his workspace. I think that's, for the most part, that's also what it is. Although some traders on like trading floors would actually use multiple screens, maybe because they are monitoring multiple markets at the same time. But like, that's a different ballgame altogether, as opposed to what we have in like individual space. But I think that's the best I understand.
Okay, because like the thoughts just come out or something. I just thought like, okay, just me and my system, and I just need only one system just to check up the chart and everything. So sometimes I even thought that, okay, probably are they like analyzing, maybe is there another thing apart from checking the chart that maybe that requires all the 3 monitors or something. So that's why I just thought to ask the question, like, is that necessary for some trader or something? Is he some maybe other levels of traders again? You understand?
Nah, it's not really a problem if you ask me. I mean, of course, you can get it if you want to, but I think if you don't really have like so much work on your hands that requires more screens, then just trading alone, not necessarily, right? In fact, in all honesty, I really just need my phone, right? Just really my phone. The reason why I say that is that I have my levels marked out, everything marked out. So if I am not on my PC, I'm not on my workstation, I can just go out. As long as I have my phone with me, I can always check periodically. Like, it's the same thing for me, though. So again, like I said, if these people are content creators, then they will need to see their workspace. It doesn't really make you a better trader. I wouldn't say so. I mean, it might get in a better headspace to work properly. When you have a better workspace, you are in a work mode much better than when you are just system, maybe. But I think aside that, there's not much to it. There's not much to it. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I'm sharing it at the moment.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. So what Damon said is correct, because while we were speaking, I tried saving a layout. You can't actually save a layout. So I just named this layout. If we leave the session now, so now I saved this, and I have this, right? Just one line here. So for those of us who are trying to put levels, let me see if I put something else, so something random on the chart. Let's use this. So I just do this, right? So maybe these are levels, for example, and I leave this session and I come back to it. This is the 15-minute time frame. Let's say I come to the daily. So now you see that it is empty, right? It is quite empty, just like the problem we're facing. But as Damon said, I think it's more like simple trading. It's just that we need to remember. But as Damon said, when you come down here, okay, so I've already saved this layout. So if I come down to load layout, I will then see this, right, which is the layout. If I click on this, voila. So I think that that makes sense. I think we got the point, did we? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I
yes.
can't. Yeah.
Okay, good. So just a heads up. So Damien, if I'm correct, this is what you meant, right? By saving the layout.
yes.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. So Carlos, Abdul, Captain, I think this solves the issue very well. So I think it saves you the stress of having to draw all your levels every single time. So, and also it looks like you might have to hold up. It looks like before you exit, hold on, let me see. It looks like before you exit the session, you might have to save, right? Because this says this says save all charts for all symbols and intervals for your layout. So it feels like just before you exit the session, you might have to click save. Now notice that the save icon does not pop up again, right? So it feels like it only pops up when you make an adjustment. So let me give you an example. If I'm to adjust my screen like this, it pops up. So you don't want to just click save every single time, unless you're about to leave the session or you're not going to be here for a while. You can now come and click save. So when you do this, I think it just saves the most recent action on the chart. So by doing this, you supposedly save yourself from that stress. So Carlos, Abdul, and Captain, I think we got the point. Suppose so. Okay. All right. So I would adjust my screen now. Let's look at the chart for a bit and see what we have. All right. So I presume that you guys can see my screen. I mean my chat.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. That makes sense. So what has happened? Now, first off, I want you guys to forgive the blue horizontal lines. I am currently testing something, and I will need these lines to be here for quite some time. And that's why you see these lines here. Let me take this out first. I've been testing myself, just testing some things, and still testing, still testing. But yes, this is ADJPY. I didn't really make an adjustment per se, but I think we had a level here that we were looking at. I kind of adjusted that level a little bit to match what I was testing. But again, that's just by the way. But yeah, all the JPYs are still moving exactly as planned. We usually will start our sessions discussing the JPY pairs, and it's interesting to see how they are playing out, how the long-term idea is just played out. It's taking some time, yes, true, but it's great to see how eventually the long-term idea always just rules inevitably. So AG, I'm still expecting more upside continuations, of course, unless something changes. This is never any guarantee. If there's a change, of course, we'll have to adjust ourselves. But until that happens, I expect more upside continuations. CAT JPY, we're having this. We'll try. Okay, this is. Let me see. Yeah. So today we pushed as high as this point, trying to break out of the key level, but so far it's pulling back. Whatever the case, I'm hoping that this is the last week of June. By the way, I think I'm correct. And I'm hoping that the candle will close above the key level so that next month I look forward to a retest of this key level to take logs. So this is for CAT JPY. CTF JPY is too impressive. So since we broke out of this weekly highs, we've been gunning for the moon. Now we're trying to break past this monthly high as well. I have a feeling we might reject it for a minute because this is like the previous all-time high. We just might break it. This week, price is already trying to do that, that's why I said this is quite interesting. Yeah, let me take this part. So price is already trying to do that. Sometimes I have noticed that when the week starts out really bullish, we might have a retracement towards the end of the week. Other times I have noticed that when the week starts out bearish, we might go on to make new highs that week. So we'll call these things high of the week and low of the week. So in a bull trend, ideally we would want the markets to give us a low first for the weekend. So maybe print a low between Monday and Wednesday, then go on to print a new high between Thursday and Friday. In a case where the market goes on to make a high at the start of the week, it most likely might retrace and make a low for the weekend. It's not it's more like a hypothesis. It's not like it's a proven fact. This is something I have noticed. It's more like a pattern happens sometimes, and there's not something you have to pay attention to every single time as a reason why you would enter or close your trades. But this is just something I have noticed myself. But yeah, whatever the case, we might still just see this blowout and then continue to the upside. But the point here is we're making progress. CWJPY consolidated for quite a while, and now it's not doing it. It is in fact making new highs, and that's beautiful to see. This is added to, of course, the new equity highs we see in my portfolio and in your portfolios as well. So Euro JPY breakout, serious massive breakout. All I can now hope for is a retest, because all this while we've been hoping and begging for a breakout, and now the breakout is so high that a retest might really take some time. Right, it might really take some time, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Pound JPY, of course, continues in profit. There is a minor weekly resistance level, which of course price will have to contend with before trying to move even further. But whatever the case is, even though this pulls back or anything that happens, I'm fine. The good thing is we bought low. Most of us were able to bar here. Some of us couldn't, but I think most of us were able to get longs here. And the most important thing is just waiting to see if we get to previous highs or the previous key level. See how that plays out. NZJPY, right? So same thing with AJ, same idea. Since last week, though, not much has changed, and USGPY as well. So let me see. So yes, USGPY as well. The dollar is still weak, I must say, but it looks like Japanese yen is even weaker. That's why we can still see progress with this guy. I'm still watching. Of course, no entries at the moment, but of course, I'm still monitoring USGPY. Moving forward, we have AUD card. So same idea on AUD card, nothing has changed. Euro card, yeah, these guys are far off, right? And this is just so beautiful, right? This is just it's just too good to just wait for your setups, stay patient, allow them to settle, take it. It just saves you so much stress. I've said it countless times, and one thing I love is the fact that we can see it happen right before our eyes. For example, we saw Eurocard. At some point, it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready. I remember when Eurocard was here. It had not broken out. Then it did break out. Then it pulled back. It's ready to take long. We see these things happen. And one of the things that Yusuf mentioned, most of us have mentioned as well.
Casey, let's check out the time frame.
The what?
The time frame. Like I just want to see the price pattern here. Yes, I want to see how it played out.
Yeah. So this is the time frame. So breakout, pull back. Now we went long. Now notice that we took longs in May, and then we stayed. This was where on the 14th of May we moved sideways throughout a month, and now we're pushing. What is it? What it tells us that yes, price can move sideways for a couple of weeks, even months. Sometimes when it wants to push, begin to push really high and really fast. It's still not a guarantee. We're not saying that your card must play out, or it has to play out, or it will definitely play out. What we're saying is so far, this is good. And I think that is all that matters. I am looking through my portfolio now, and all my trades are well in profit. I don't have any trades in reds. The only trade I was in drawdown was pound NZD, but that trade is quite chaotic. That trade is now in profit. We'll look at that in a moment. Yeah. So this is your card. And is anybody still long on your card? Just so that I know. I think apart from Yusuf and maybe Captain who have closed their trade. Anybody else who is still long on your card? George, are you perhaps long on your card? Did you buy this?
No, please, I couldn't buy. I couldn't buy.
Okay. So maybe not. Maybe most people are not long at the moment. But yeah, Bureau card is doing really well. Will it come back? I'm not sure. If it does, then I think both of us can find an entry. Can it stop up? Of course it can. Can it play out? Well, of course it can as well. So we'll keep our eyes open. Pound card. Yeah, so I think we're having a go at the um this resistance level once again. We pulled back and found support at this demand zone, and now we're trying to move back to the upside. So will it break out this time? I don't know. I hope it does. If that happens, then it means that we have further upside continuations on our hands. So we'll see how that plays out. NZD card as well. So this dumped up until here. I think that was because of CAD strength, right? I think so. But it seems like that weakened over time because CAD JP also retraced, and I think this guy's also retracing. But yes, overall, let's see. It seems like this is a minor level of support, which will need to be broken for us to see more downside continuations. But yes, let's see if we break this at some point during the year. I think we definitely will. I think we'll find out. So this is ended the card. Still nothing to speak on, nothing to comment on. Just same thing. USD card. Yeah, so not much to speak on. No breakout. We haven't come down to the support level, so it's like in the middle of the ball. Just stay patient. Right? Your AD, nothing for me, like I said. Your NZD, still nothing for me. Although interestingly, we are breaking out. So I think the good thing here is why we break out, and who knows? Like I said, who knows if we stay above the key level, maybe we get a retest next month for us to get low, and that would be beautiful because it just means that we took the longs here. I think most of us were able to buy with me. I bought way back at the end of September, just at the beginning of October. In fact, I think this was the trade. I think the silver trade I put out last year, and this trade that kind of set things up back in October. So we were able to get this long. Bought 1.75, closed at 1.90, which is beautiful. Maybe we'll get a shot at buying at 1.90 and closing at 2.1. That would depend on market conditions, of course, but this would be another fantastic trade if you play well. So keep our eyes open for that. Pound AUD. We may not come back. I'm not sure. But if we do, that's fine. Whatever the case is, so sorry guys. Okay. For some reason, trading views out. So let me see. Hold on, guys. For some reason, trading view just went out. So let me try and get that up once again. Right. Sorry about that. Maybe just went up for great reason. But let me pull that up on screen. Um, yes. All right. Let's see. Where was our US card? No. Um. Yeah. Pound 80. So yes. Sorry. Can you guys see my screen now? Just making sure we're all on the same.
Yeah, yeah, you can
Please,
see
I
it.
can hear you.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So pound AUD. Price may not come back. Okay. Where are my levels? Wow. That's interesting. Okay. So I think they're popular now. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not. What? These levels just what disappear? I mean, this has to be a glitch or something because it's showing up on some pairs.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Actually, I'm currently experiencing something like this. Like, on my tab, my levels are not showing. I think is because of probably you are logged in. Yeah, like your trading view is logged in on different devices at the same time. Maybe currently you are logged on different devices at the same time.
I think that's a different problem because that's a different problem. To be honest, that's a different problem. For example, look at this. It's showing up on ADUSD but not on pound AUD. I mean, if it was a general problem, it won't show up on ADUSD. So I don't know. This was like I don't know. This has to be glitched. Like I said, this just went out and just opened it the second time, and I'm not sure why. Let me see. All right, well, this is weird. I think I might check this out later. I don't start like drawing these levels again if it's just a glitch. I'm not sure why it's just on these two pairs or on these four pairs. Okay, showing here. Okay, whatever the case. Now, I think just for the sake of explaining, um, let me see where I had the level of pound NZD so that I can use that to explain this. Um, pound NZD. Let me see. Okay, yeah, 2.23. Yeah, I thought that was much. All right, so we have the key level somewhere around here. So yeah, this is not supposed to be in blue. This is supposed to be in black because it's a major key level, and it's not showing up. But this is the level where we're trying to buy from, right? And I think we bought way back in, I think it was March. Yeah, way back in March. Had our entries here, and since then we've moved sideways. Very recently, price came to the level. In fact, the last 2 weeks, price has come down to the level to test as support. And in both instances, it felt like price was going to break and continue to downside. I also felt like that, but so far it hasn't happened. And this goes to show that yes, the markets will test you. Truly, it will. And what would have happened if you tried to close at every point here? So when I used to refer to those examples where I would make mistakes trying to close because I felt that I was going to get stopped out, you see this is happening in real time. Now I don't have to worry anymore. That's because I am not disciplined enough to allow my system to do the talking for me. And like I said, as long as the key level is valid, there is no reason to close the trade. Um, the reason you can close your trade is if the key level invalidates, and that's when price will most likely stop you out. So again, I'm still long on pound entity. The entry is not here at the moment. I will fix that up. I think exactly about this session. I'm not sure what that's going to happen. I need to take more time to do that. But whatever the case, this is pound entity, and I expect even for that upside continuations on the guy. So moving on, ADUSD. So same thing we said about allowing prices to break above levels. So it is clear that ADUS is not ready to break above. We might still continue to the downside, which is still fine by me. Euro USD as well. Yeah, I think I missed on sales. This is very interesting. But Euro USD, where was the key level? I think it was around, let me see, 1.12. Correct. So yes, something around here. I think we take the next key level around 1.18. So we're not so far from the next key level. I'll put all of these later on. So break retest, we're still like heading towards the key level. If the dollar weakens, then we might get here before we retrace. But if the dollar finds some strength, we might turn around and maybe even break the level. Who knows? Find out. But yeah, I'm long on Euro and the rest of those of us who are new and are not aware. Pound USD. But this is so weird. Like, why would you not show? No, it's crazy. But whatever the case, Pound USD is so we pulled back only slightly, not enough for a retest, right? Not enough for a retest. We broke above, pulled back, but we didn't come back for a retest. I'm still eagerly expecting a retest. If it does, if the price comes back, I'd love to take price. But if it doesn't, then yeah, oh well. We might see upside considerations. NZUSD as well.
Casey.
Yep.
Pound USD. Let's check the daily time from Pound USD. So I'm thinking that we actually have a retest there. If you look at it on the daily time frame basis there.
Yes, the daily high is true.
Okay.
But I would not.
Okay.
I would not.
I actually have my key level slightly above. You understand? So that shows that I have a retest on my own end here.
Okay, so you have a key level above this. Now, we can. I would think that this is. Well, let's see. If we look at price action from 2016, which was say 11 years ago, up until now, right? You can see how price is respecting 1.33, not 1.34. All right. Of course, key levels are not exact price point; they are areas. But the point is, if we would drag this guy all the way up to this point, it would give a completely different meaning. Okay. So that's why I have mine at 1.33, if that makes sense. So from that standpoint, I have not seen a retest, if that makes sense. So and that's why I'm taking buys. That's why I'm not taking longs in pound USD. So I think we have slightly different levels. Abdul.
Yeah, actually, probably because I'm using another. This is I'm not using the ICO or FX, so I just have my kit
Well,
slightly above.
yes, and also, like I said, sometimes trying to plot these things can, in some cases, maybe cause a problem because you're trying to plot the levels and it might be giving you a problem or two because of how the price actually looks. That's why sometimes we have to just be careful. You can't always get it right, in my opinion. So far, I still try to be careful how I plot these levels. It takes time and experience, like I said, but sometimes you can still make some mistakes. It happens. It does happen. So I think that's the only reason why I'm not long on pound on pound USD yet. And yes, hold on. Let me see. So this is how we're looking on the daily. Oh, this is interesting. I think I'm gonna look at this a second time. But so far, this is the key level. So far, this is the key level I have. What I've used for the past year. So I hope you're clear on that. Now, is it wrong to buy from here? No, of course not. Whatever the case, I think we are still betting on the entire area. So the real difference is if your stop is just like below this and price pulls back, you might then just stop your. But it doesn't mean that it might not really present another opportunity if you want to go, if you want to continue higher. So I think that's just all you have to keep in mind as you go along. Okay. What else? NZUSD. So same thing with 80 USD. We didn't break above the highs, and it looks like we're trading to the downside. If we come back to the weekly time frame, is exactly what we meant by allowing price to break clearly above or below a key level. And so far, this has not broken above, so we can't really say that we're looking at for price going back to the key level. So this is all I have. And then for the Swiss franc pairs, same thing as I said. The only other interesting thing is USDCHF, which is now still dumping to the downside. But I think aside this guy, I don't have anything else here that is like setting up for any buys or sales. And it also seems like the key levels went out on USDCHF, which is weird, but yeah, I think that happened too. So if you don't have any questions here, I can just quickly scoot over to indices and methods.
Okay,
So, well,
Can you hear
can you
me?
hear? Go ahead.
hello, Casey.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. Like I've been checking on this USDCHF. Like, is this like an opportunity to take entry here?
Sorry, Abdul, please go ahead first.
Yeah, I said like I've been checking on this USDCHF. Like, is it like an opportunity to take an entry here?
An entry like sales?
Like, yeah, so like I actually missed that one straight, so I
Well,
haven't taken it.
sales. I wouldn't really say so. Not right now, considering how things are. Uh, the level is, I don't know, a little. I would consider this more of support at the moment, right? Not as a retest. I would consider this more of support. I wouldn't say this is. This is like break for maybe test or something. That's how I kind of
Yeah,
see.
okay. I'm even considering that. Okay, if I should take myself now, like my this like my stocks would be way more above, or so you understand. So those are the things I've been considering. So that's why I'm taking my entry here.
Yes, I think this looks more like a support, truthfully. So I think sales may not really work out. Also, oh yes, I don't think. I think that's the best I can take for now. Sales will not really work out. Okay.
Casey, please, did you take out your levels?
Pulled up preview second
Um,
time. When I pulled up preview
like,
second
can,
time, some of the levels on some pairs. I didn't take them on myself. No, of course not. Of course not. So it is just as where to you as it is. Okay, question.
Hello, Casey. Can you hear me?
All right. I think you guys can hear me now. Carlos, do you have a question? Carlos not at the moment. But can you guys hear me? Just making sure.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. All right. So
Yes,
for
I hear you.
indices, all right, that's good. For indices as well, so you can see it seems like the levels also went out of indices. But yes, we're still
Yes, I can hear
pushing.
you. Sir.
All right. So we're still pushing. Almost back at the previous highs. We pulled back last week, but today we're pushing even higher. We might come back to the previous high. We might break above. We might spin around. We're not sure what happens yet. But yes, this is the current state of the S&P 500. France 40 pulled back close to break even. The lobby is not here at the moment. So for those of us who are looking to get involved, I think my entry was a little lower around like somewhere around here. So it's still like not ready for buys, I think. But I think aside that, we might still have opportunities to get long on this guy. So I'm not sure the entry is, but I'm going to be too lower. The levels are not here, which is weird.
Kasi, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but I want to find out if you are done reviewing USDCHF. Because I didn't get anything that you mentioned on it. It seems your line was breaking. I don't know whether it was mine or it was from me, but I didn't really get
Oh,
anything. Because I remember last week you said they were at the extreme ends and they were expecting like a reversal, like a double bottom and then probably price goes back. But I don't know this today you have a different view of the price action based on what is happening currently in the market.
okay. Well, for USCHF, anything can happen for the most part. I would ordinarily want more downside continuations because I'm short, so that I can take my profits at the next the new lows. But is it possible for this to form a double bottom? It is. It can happen. So I was simply saying then that I'm keeping an open mind that any of these scenarios can happen. I would not look to buy, obviously, see the downtrend. I won't look to buy. I would ideally want this to happen, but can this form a double bottom and reverse to the upside? It can. It very well can. That can happen. So just keep an open mind when looking at opportunities. So
Okay, yeah. All right, thank you.
yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Okay,
That's kind of what I meant. Yes.
because
So okay, go ahead.
I'm saying I'm currently short on it, but looking at how the market went all the way up today and it's currently dumping. I'm not too sure if it's going to continue to the downside because of what you mentioned last week. So I'm a bit pessimistic as to. I don't know whether to still hold to my TP, but my TP is just below the level that you have. It's just slightly below that level. I don't
So
know if
where
I
did
should.
you take sales? Where did you shut from?
I saw last on the 4 hour. I think last week Thursday there was this sell of strong bearish candlestick that on the 4 hour.
So it would be here, right?
Yes. Yeah. After that candlestick.
All right. So then that's it for our trade. And
Yes. So
well,
I'm expecting my stops, my TV just down there.
yeah. So I think ideally your TP should be around these support levels. You don't want to have it lower because where you're
Exactly. Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just it has to be somewhere around these lows.
Yeah.
For it to make. Can you hear me, Damien?
My internet went off again, so I didn't hear anything I mentioned. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I think that is from our network as well. Seems like I have issue. But I said you don't want to have your take profits anywhere below these lows. You want to keep them at the support level, so that
Yes.
price does not come here and find to bottom reverse and miss your take profit. So I think that's what you need for this future.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So going back to indices, the Nasdaq is also different as well. Gold. Let me see. Gold is not much is happening. Not much is happening with gold. I'm long on the copper as we all know. The level is out obviously. But I'm long on copper and we're in profit. We're well in profit. I'm long on palladium as well. We're also well in profit. I think now we're trying to break. All right. So long on palladium, long on copper. I closed platinum obviously played out. And silver has also broken out. Again, these levels are out. I would have to take my time to put these levels back in. It will take quite some work, but I will do that because I'm not sure why these levels just went out. But yes, this is all I have for the most part. And I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, that's it. I was looking at that. So now I wanted to look at, is it a break and retest or
The German box.
yes. Yes, I was looking at the side. Like I wanted to know whether it's a break and retest. For us to look out for the pattern to go long.
Okay, so the German box. Let's scroll back. Check this out. Okay, so ideally, I would want to look at this as the resistance, mainly because it caters for 2-3 candles. So it's clear, it's evident that price um found resistance here within these 3 months before then breaking out. So from this perspective, no, I would not look to go long just yet. From just a weekly time frame perspective, yes, it is a break and retest. But then looking at what we're expecting as now the support, I would want to consider the support down here, in these levels, as opposed to just up here, where I'm not just using this candle alone to refer to as a support. For example, if you come back to gold, I would want to use this area as resistance because the market has not broken past this level for the last 3 months. I may not really just want to go and pick it high just like that. I want to look at like the entire area as resistance. So that's the same thing I'm doing for the German DAX. And from this perspective, I would not want to just go long, but wait for maybe even a further pullback. I think if we come down here and find support, then I would love to go long. So
Okay, Kasi, understand.
all right. Any other questions, please?
Okay, see, I was looking at I was asking a question before concerning USD CHF, because looking at the chart, I was able to see the new support you drew. So I was like, I don't know whether it's from my end, but I'm not seeing like your old chart layout, the key levels and stuff. So I don't know if it's actually my network or something, because I actually glitched and I'm back.
No, it's not your network. I think it's a problem from my end because, like I said, TradingView went out for some reason, and I popped it back up. And on some pairs, the levels are still present, while on others, levels are gone. So you can see it here on AED USD, but it's not here on USD CHF. It's not here on pound AED. So it's not on any of the metals or the indices, no index. So I may have to put these levels back again. I'm not sure why it happened. It's weird, but yeah, it's not a glitch from your end. Okay, if that makes sense.
Okay, no problem. Please, can you go to NZDJPY? Can you speak on that, please? NJ.
NZDJPY. Okay, so yes, same thing as I said. Just like with AJ, more upside calculations. That's what I can see so far.
So like this kind of a break and a retest or something for upside continuation or what?
Yes, it appears that way.
Because why I'm saying maybe I don't know, but to me my own level, I'm having a level at the same place, but I don't know if you should look at it on the weekly perspective. Yes, exactly. This is what I'm looking at. Though my level is quite just at top, like above, I think around. Let me take a look at it. I think I'm having my levels around 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 86.891. So getting to put in my zone, because you can't just be working with the lines there, putting in my zone. And if I look at it on the weekly perspective, I'm like seeing kind of a multiple rejection week there. So, but here, I don't know, maybe whether it's because of how we are having our levels. Here, it's looking pretty much like a break and a retest for upward movement. While to me, it's kind of a multiple rejection on that level for a downward movement. I don't just know. So
Do you want to sell?
Sorry?
Do you want to sell?
I'm short already on NJ, though. I'm short already.
Okay. And I see what the person is. Okay, so what is happening? That's what you're asking. Why are we having a difference in the levels? I think it's because of how we drew it. Let me see. We'll take this again. This is where my level stems from. It is a monthly level. I think you need to bring this a little higher. Now think about this. I'm trying to calculate for the price action.
Of course.
So I am not trying to. I'm not here to maybe adjust. Hold on. Let me see. Um. We have this here. Um. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So this is what you're speaking of. So you have your levels a little higher.
Exactly. I think this is the exact same place I'm having my level. Yeah, because I'm having around 86.891, and I think here you're having 87 point something. Yeah, exactly.
So, but then
And
here's the
the
difference.
the bullish
It is,
like
okay.
the bullish
Go ahead.
the okay, the bullish week we're actually saying, to me, I think everyone witnessed the market jump, and I think that's why it is up there. So I don't just know, but this is pretty much how my chart is looking. So to me, I'm seeing it as a kind of testing this monthly level as resistance, and this like to me a multiple rejection week, which is like kind of confirming a downward movement or something. So that's why I just said you should speak on NJ.
Okay. Quick question. Why do you want to sell? Why are you selling? What's your reason for selling?
Okay. Selling cost of the DOM right from July 2024, and since then I've actually seen the market like dumping, testing the 87 level, 87 points. I can't really say your chart, but the 87 level tests
Yeah.
as support. Okay, it found support like after the dump, it found support there. Even when it broke below it, it had to close above and found support like the second time, the third time, and like the fourth time it broke below, which it pulled back to test it, and it dumped up to like the next monthly level you're having there, which is actually getting to find support there. So to me, you can see the wick there. It tried breaking and it couldn't. Like it found resistance there and tried like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, it closed right at the level. Last 2 weeks, it's like closed at the level again. Even after the break above, it had to come down, closing at the level. Last week was like I was thinking my positions would actually stop out last week because of the momentum it was like using to pull up and all that. But getting to see it closing this way was quite interesting to me. Like I was like, wow, it's good seeing this happening. And like I was even expecting this week to start bearish, but I think it's because of the gap and this thing is just happening. So I don't know. That's where my whole idea came from, like the dump of 2024 and the price action, like testing this level like multiple times. And that was why I took the short like last week. Yeah, I think it was last week that I took the short.
Okay. Here's the thing, Carlos. Here's the thing. You see, it feels like you're looking for reasons to sell. Okay. And this is the one thing I've always spoken of as to not finding reasons to take a trade, right? Not looking for reasons to take a trade. Now we are both looking at the same levels. Okay, my level is a little adjusted. Okay, but same thing. I am not looking out for sales. I'm expecting a breakout. Okay. You, on the other hand, are looking out for sales. Now, it's not a thing of it's not a thing of who is right and who is wrong. Okay, because is it possible for the market to drop on this level? It is possible, absolutely. We don't deny that. The question is, like I've always said, is your process, the process behind your trades matters a whole lot. Okay, the process behind the trades you're taking matters a whole lot. Just because the price is testing level as resistance doesn't mean that it would act as resistance forever and done. Price can test as resistance for a couple of weeks and still break out. You said in your comments, you said last week you felt like your trades were going to stop out, but they didn't, and it made you happy. Well, they can stop out this week. The market can break out and close right above the wick. It can happen. Now you see that you're a little bit attached to the trades in the sense that whether they stop out or they play out, it makes you that happy or sad. And that should not be the case for us as traders. What is my point? My point is the reason why we take our trades matters. It should come from, again, this is why I'm bringing back testing into the picture, so that your entries, your exits, the process behind your trades become a little bit systematic and follows a pattern that is proven. My point here is when you take sales here, you're taking sales because this is a resistance. You have not keyed in other factors that the overall trend is to the upside. We bounce from this key level. Now, mind you, this is not this is not a major key level, right? If that makes sense. We have bounced from a major key level. We're going back to the upside. Yes, this is resistance. Yes, this can dump. But the question is, how many times do we trade in the against the direction of the overall trend and it plays out? Yes, it did. It played out here, right? But that is just the key level, the major key level. So what are the odds that it will happen the second time, right? Also, looking at the fact that all the other JPYs are trying to break out, all the other JPYs are forcing their hands trying to break out. The only reason why AG and NG have not broken out is because they are weaker. That's the only reason. They are much weaker than other currencies. That's the reason why they are slow in their breakout. CAD JPY has kind of broken out. CF JPY has broken out. EG has broken out. Pound JPY has broken out. The dollar is still weak. That's why we don't have like the breaker above like 150 yet. So you see that the only reason why these pairs are not broken out is because they are just weak at the moment. Not necessarily that the trend is in the favor of the Japanese yen. No, it's not. You get. So what is my point? We don't just sell because price is at a level of resistance. Okay, if that was the reason, we would have sold JPY. Right? I mean, think about it. Okay, right. So I think the level is no longer here. But yes, the level was at 106, right? So what if you sold CAD JPY because it was also at a resistance? Maybe you did sell it. I'm not sure.
Because I did sold CAD JPY and actually stopped out. So like I'm in a kind of dilemma on NJ again. So that's why I'm looking out for comments on NJ again.
Exactly.
But to me, like the price action on NJ, I think is like kind of a reason why one should sell. I don't think personally that sales is actually bad.
No.
So
you don't think like that.
You don't think like that.
Okay, you don't think like that. Okay, if this makes sense, if we bring this back, if we bring CAD JPY back, right? There was a break and retest here, a clear break and retest. Going by your explanation of the reason why you sold NJ, you should have sold CAD JPY, and you did, and you were stopped out. Going by your explanation of why you sold NJ, you should have sold AD JPY. Did you sell AD JPY?
Yeah, of course. I'm holding the shorts on, like shorts on the JPY. So I don't know how they would actually be moving like for the next couple of weeks. I actually did sold AJ. I sold KJ. KJ stopped out. AJ, I'm still holding. NJ, I'm still holding as well. So like those two the JPYs I'm currently holding.
All right. This was a problem that Abdul had a few months ago. Okay, Abdul is not here at the moment. Abdul was short on the JPY. I think some of us here might have remembered. He was short on the JPYs and he had like a couple of losers trying to take sales on the JPYs. I'm not saying that it is wrong to sell the JPYs, of course not. I'm not one to decide what one can do or not do. I'm just here to explain to you what your process should be behind your trade. So it's not about the individual trade. It's about would you repeat this pattern every single time you see it? And right now, what you're doing is against the overall trend. So are you comfortable with that? If you are, then that's fine. But I'm just helping you see that just because price is at the key level doesn't mean that you should sell it. We key in other factors to take trades, not just the fact that price is at the key level. If that was the case, we would have sold pound card because of the resistance. This resistance level here would have sold it, but we didn't. Why? Because just because price is at the resistance doesn't mean we can sell it. You get? So I mean, actually, we're even better off selling like AUD/USD and NZD/USD, right? I think we're even better off doing that as long as our stops are like much better. Now, even selling in the direction of the trend does not even guarantee that the trade will play out. How much more selling against the overall trend? So I think you get my point. I'm not against you taking sales. I'm against your process and how you should think before taking trades. The fact that price comes to a resistance level doesn't completely make it okay to sell. That's not the only thing you key in. That's not the only factor you key in. Okay, and like you said, like I explained, looking for reasons. If you're looking for reasons to sell NG, you find reasons. NG is giving us reasons to sell, right? But it's also giving us reasons why it might break out. So you see now that you will always be in a dilemma. You will always be in a situation where you are finding it difficult to decide what to do or not do with the idea. So I think we should think about it in that manner, think about it in that sense, and it will help us a whole lot as we decide to take our trades. That's my input on the NZG bar. So I hope the point is clear, Carlos.
Yeah, of course it is. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Yeah, Casey, I have a question on ADJPY, please.
On what?
ADJPY.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I took an entry this morning. It's just morning here. So, yeah, so just following your explanation, I just decided to jump in, even though it is not the usual entry we do talk about. Like normally, I know we used to take trade from maybe the 3 month, the key levels, right? So, but right
Yeah.
now, we are somewhere. I have a level around 92.50, like a zone around 92.50, and obviously price has broken out of that zone. Overall, we all know that we have been looking for buys on JPY. So normally I would not take a key level from the weekly time frame, but I have a system entirely on weekly time frames. And yeah, if you recall, maybe some last month or last 2 months, I took a buy on CAD JPY and we talked about some levels. So, but one of the confluence I used then was that there is a trend line. If you can go to daily time frame on AUD JPY. So I just decided to drop in based on your conversation with Mark. So, and I want to see if my thought process on this trade is right. So normally I was looking for buys, and there was an initial rejection of. I have a monthly key level at 88 point. Let's say 88, so a monthly rejection just down there. So, and like we have been looking for buys on JPYs. So as soon as I broke above this weekly time frame, break of that trend line, rejection, I break and retest of that trend line, I took the buy. So what do you think about this buy? So, and I'm also with the fact that JPYs are supposed to be going up at least for some time. So yeah, that's
Okay. For AJ, pretty much for the JPYs, like I said, I still expect long-term bullish continuation. That is subject to change, of course. So if you're long from any of these levels, any of these highs, I'm not sure where your stop is, but I think ideally you want to have a decent stop that can cater for, because again, like I said, the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar are not so strong themselves, which is why I'm saying that it's not entirely wrong if they would drop to the downside. That can happen. But if I to take longs, we need to have stops at like very decent places. So I think the question for you is, where is your stop? I think that's a
Okay. Yeah, my stop is around 90.25. My entry is just, I'm currently at the entry. The price is currently at the entry. So, and I have my stop around 90.25. So, which is, yeah.
yeah. My trading view has a problem, obviously, because I can't even place in long positions. That's very weird.
Oh,
But 90, I don't think I can place any twos, can I? So I can place the arrow, but I can't place the longs. That's interesting. But yeah, whatever the case is, your stop is at 90.2. Wow, that's quite decent.
yeah. So,
90.25.
yeah.
Okay, good. So this is very much okay. Very much okay. In the sense that if this is to stop out, you then know that price is coming back to test the key level, right?
Yeah,
So you're
yeah,
not going to
exactly.
have a situation where price is going to come and weak you out. No. So the stop
Yeah.
is well okay. And then if it plays out, you're looking at, it depends on where you're expecting to take profits. You're looking at a 1 to 2, maybe even a 1 to 3 or higher.
Yeah, I have a
So
1 to 3.5. So, my
yeah,
tip is around 108.
yes, which is the key level. I think that would be the key level. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays
Yeah.
out. So I think that this makes sense. This makes sense.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Let's see.
All right. Okay then. So for those, I think we spoke about back testing as we started, and please, I would implore you to continue in your testing. A time is coming where we'll have to review what you've done so far, how you tested, what you used to test, the exact metrics you used in testing. We'll have to review these things, look at your testing sessions, how far you've come, what you need to adjust, and things like that. But I'm sure you guys are finding interesting things aside the issue you just had, which is now being resolved. So I want you guys to continue testing. I want to test for like as long as a month, a few weeks up to a month. And when you've tested for quite some time, then we can begin to make adjustments. I still feel like we're right on track with the timeline. We're towards the end of June. So somewhere into July we should have tested our system to get some data out of it. Of course, not everything, but make some progress. And so from July, it means that we'll be making adjustments to the systems of the trade and see what we need to remove, what we need to drop entirely, what we need to adjust, and things like that. So once again, you guys are doing very well. Thank you so much. Your questions, your viewpoints, it helps you to see and grow. Right? So I understand, I get it. So once again, unless you guys have any other questions, if not, then it means that we'll have to close the curtains here and meet up on Thursday. So please, any questions?
BC, please, I'd be expecting your response from Discord. I actually dropped you some chat, please.
Oh, okay. I'll check that. I'll check that
Yeah,
after the session.
thank you very much.
All right, then. All right. So, in the absence of any questions, you guys take care. It was a wonderful session. I'm not sure what trading view is doing right now. Or this is from me. I'm not sure yet. But I'll find out. I'll pretty much get it fixed. And yes, we'll see you on Thursday. Okay. So please, Abdul is not here, but George, yeah, Abdul, I'll make sure to get these sessions out before Thursday, so that you guys can have a look at what we did in the past few weeks.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Yeah. I'll be expecting it, boss. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you guys for showing up. I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. Of course.